Good evening to you. Last month was a rough month of storms and just general the weather across northeast Kansas and much of the plains. But we wanted tonight to take an opportunity maybe to peel back the curtain just a little bit and let you see some of the behind the scenes coverage of what it takes to do storm coverage in the area. You'll get a chance to even meet some of our trackers that go out in the field for us. You hear from them from time to time, but tonight you'll get maybe a first-hand account of what goes through their mind as they're tracking some of the area's most dangerous thunderstorms. But first, let's start off with the first major tornado event of the season. That happened on Tuesday, May 21st.
There it is!
If all possible in Junction City, you need to start heading toward a basement. I'm watching this feature right here back in the rain. You can kind of see it dipping down a little bit. There's a little bit of a funnel feature dipping down, but it's going to, if it does come all the way down to the ground, leave it right about there. This area of rotation is what we're watching for. If you live in Manhattan, it's passing you by to the west. It is not coming into Manhattan. It is going to affect portions of Riley County. And it was at that point several of you started to send us your videos of the tornadoes as they moved up over the Milford Lake area. Kyle Soldani and Storm Track Team Number 2 recalls that afternoon.
Those storms were kind of pulse-like in nature, and they intensified very rapidly. I actually watched them from home as they moved into northern Shawnee County. Really cool to watch and pretty obvious that we needed to hit the road. So definitely, you know, as I was going up Auburn Road here, I could see the Rossville Tornado on the ground, just clear as day. I mean, no precipitation, just clear view. Really unique to be able to see that.
Even caught me off guard a little bit. I mean, it hit that boundary right there, which I was in position waiting for it to happen, but usually, you know, there's a little bit of a more drawn out process before you get a tornado. And with that, hit that boundary, it was just snap. Tornado producer really fast.
Tornado just north of Rossville, Kansas.
Darren Brunin and Storm Track Team Number 8 was in the right spot as it all happened.
Tornado just north of Rossville, Kansas.
The excitement of seeing that weather turns into, whoa, I got to help out, you know, really, really fast, and you got to kind of switch from, you know, shock to business really fast, and that's really hard to do.
This is right on the Shawnee and Jackson County line. Tornado coming back down once again toward the ground right there. That's a live view of this storm right here to the north of Silver Lake, northeast of Rossville, near just a little east of Delia. That is moving on up toward the north and east. We'll pop the video back up here shortly, but that is right there, right near the county line. That's the area of circulation crossing out of Shawnee County, right onto the Jackson County line, and that's what it looks like right there as that tornado keeps trying to form out of this storm, this tight circulation. Very, very small, very focused rotation, but very obvious rotation. Started up near Rossville, touched down about a mile north of Rossville, and then hit its touchdown at least one other time since then. You need to be, of course, taking your tornado shelters across all of southern Jackson County at this time. We do have a tornado on the ground, it looks like, from this vantage point. The cloud may not fully be coming down as a condensed cloud, but we have a large tornado forming out of this one. We talked about it earlier. There you can see it. That circulation coming down to the ground. There may be a swirl on the ground as well, as these funnels are so close to the ground level. This particular cell certainly capable of producing quick tornadoes.
Get over to 75 and go up north, and I stayed with it up until Holton, and then that's when we moved over to the eastern storm.
So I headed out in the storm tracker, and we were kind of following the clouds. You know, you can always tell a little bit when a cloud is looking a little more threatening, right? You can always kind of tell it's a little darker, there's some things kind of going on with it, and so we were kind of following the clouds, and we basically turned down this country road, and we're thinking it was going to be a shortcut, and little did we realize once we got down the road was that there was going to be police and fire and all sorts of folks at the end of the road trying to help, because this home had just been hit by a tornado. It just came through real fast, and you could tell the homeowners, you know, they were just kind of taken back by surprise by it. Of course, anybody would be. Honestly, as crazy as this might sound, it was probably the most beautiful clouds I'd ever seen in my life, because they were just, they were ominous, but at the same time they were different colors of gray and silver and black, and it was kind of just this culmination of these different clouds that were moving through. And it was crazy because a lot of times you'll look up in the sky and you'll think the clouds are moving, but on that particular night you could really see just how fast the clouds were moving and how big they really were.
So if I recall, I initially called Matt really when I was focused on the Holton storm. The structure just looked good enough that I wanted to call in. We had a tornado warning issued, and I was watching it pretty intently. It had some characteristics of an impending tornado, pretty active wall cloud, good upward motion and rotation, but kept dropping a couple funnels here and there, but nothing ever actually touched the ground that I could see from my vantage point. So I went ahead and called in because of that, just so we could get eyes on it and provide Matt some ground truth. I know it's helpful to you guys just to be able to ask real-time questions and get real-time feedback. So just wanted to provide that. And just so happened that while I was on the phone, we crested a hill and northeast storm had a tornado on the ground. So
we do have Kyle Saldani, who's one of our storm trackers as well, Storm Track Team number 2. Kyle, where are you located and what are you seeing here?
Hi, Matt. Approximately 3 to 4 miles southwest of Muskota. Actually, I have two interesting positions and viewpoints here. The storm approximately 3 miles to the east of Muskota. Let's have
that one.
a visual of that currently. I'll try and get a picture here to you shortly, but I do have a confirmed tornado on the ground with that one.
East of Muskota? All right, so actually,
correct.
So that, okay,
correct.
So real quick,
the Muskota storm does have a tornado on the ground.
All right, so between Muskota and Lancaster, get in tornado shelter. This would include the southeastern corner of Brown County. Moved up from the Effingham area, Everest to Huron area, tornado shelter. That is a verified tornado there from Team 2, Kyle Saldani. And Kyle, what was the other storm that you're looking at? The one closer to Horton?
Yeah, Matt, that's the second one. I don't have a terribly good vantage point up to the north. I don't see anything specifically on the ground at this point, but we do have continued areas of cyclonic updraft and rotation.
All right.
It's tickling over the past probably 5 to 10 minutes, but do have an ongoing tornado on the Muskota storm.
So again, all radar indication is that's a very strong storm passing east of Bern. Here you've got Sabetha right over here. It's west of Sabetha, but that is going to move up toward Nem City, Nebraska, and then eventually maybe on up toward Humboldt, Nebraska.
Well, for me, it's moving into my home. You know, I mean, this is the community it's moving into. You know, so it was like drop south, get to this storm. It's going to be moving its way up towards your family. You know, I got family, friends that weren't like affected by it, but it was moving up into that area where it's like, man, this is going to impact my family.
Definitely a rough day, but in the next few days we actually had a series of storm lines that moved through, and several of those also produced some smaller tornadoes, places like Marysville, and even one small tornado that moved right through the heart of Lynn, Kansas, and even hit the school there. Well, coming up, the biggest tornado of the season was only a few days away, and that would be one that no one would forget anytime soon.